talking about the power of God, receiving God's power. How can we receive his power? You talked about how Jesus followed him into the wilderness. You know, a lot of times we think we're not following the Spirit if it's suffering.
Right.
But that's why it's so important that you follow the Spirit and not what you want or what you think or how it was done before, but really understanding who he is and following him. But my question to you ladies is, how do you explain that to someone who's watching?
Right.
You know, how can you receive God's power for what you need to do?
Right. Yeah. This is real simplistic, but I think of it at, God always gives me visuals because I need the cookies on a lower shelf. And we have this pool float that if I put the air thing in it to blow it up, it will not blow up because the way the nozzle is when it's standing. It has to lay down. And so it's just this flat piece of rubber, but it has to lay down. And I put that air in and it just goes, and it stands up and it's a huge thing. And every time I do it, every summer I'm like, that's us and the Holy Spirit. If you are not on your face, at least figuratively, before the Lord going, I got nothing. Apart from you, I have no hope. I have no power. I have no life. But Christ in you, I'm a co-heir. I'm a royal priesthood.
Awesome.
So to me, you have to lie down with humility.
I love that.
Before he raises you up with power.
Before he raises you up. I love that. I love that.
Again.
Surrender.
Surrender.
Desperation too, for me. You know, realizing that he's attracted to the desperation. He's not repelled by it. And so I think the times I've sensed the power of the Spirit, I mean, he's always with us, but really that indwelling, that overflowing, really for anybody watching, it's when I'm terrified. And I'm walking in and I say, fill me.
And you do it brave.
Fill me
That's
again.
right.
And I'm heartbroken with grief. Fill me. And so I think laying down and being flattened, but also that sense of, again, I'm not going to take my desperation and hide it. I'm going to bring it out and go, right here. Lord.
I love that. Because I think as believers, we become really cool.
Really cool.
I agree.
You know?
Or try
And
to be.
when we look through the scriptures, you always hear, I cried out.
Yes.
I cried out and he heard.
A couple of years ago, Alex very generously and graciously invited me to come and speak at their church, to preach at their church. And you know how when you're going, I mean, I always want God's words to fill my mouth, and I always want the gospel to be clear. And if I have to be moronic for him to reveal himself, that's okay. But you don't want to be moronic in your friend's church, like with a bunch of people you know and love. You're just like, okay, Lord, if it's okay with you, I'd like to be coherent.
Be cool. Don't sweat.
But I was so concerned, CeCe, with how I looked. And I got up, and the first night, by the grace of God, they gave me 2 nights. But the first night, there was no life in it. It was horrible. God can move with donkeys and rocks.
Yes.
I'm not saying God's hands were tied.
Yes.
But it just, there was no power in it. And I thought, goodness gracious God, the one place I really didn't want to fail miserably was with my dear friend. And I think it took me going, oh, yikers. I forgot that you use the weak and the foolish. Forgive me for bringing my reputation to the table. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever.
And then I didn't do great. I just was surrendered. That's the second night. And then God's power came and people got saved. And I think it was Spurgeon who says, we don't have to even exegete the scriptures. You just open the Bible and the Lion of Judah races out of his cage. And so I think part of it is power. Part of it is us just going, I don't start the power. I don't control the power, but sometimes he lets me ride the rocket. You know?
But it's being connected, isn't it, to the source?
Yielded.
If you put my power plug in, the power comes out. I could have my, my leaf blower that is really capable, but without it being connected to the power source, it doesn't work. No power moves through it. And I think sometimes we try and do it void of being connected to the source.
That's good.
We don't
really
know him. And we've got to know him. And I know Holy Spirit as a friend. He's my best friend. So I'm just connected. So I can hear him like I hear Jesus. And so many people get confused. Well, is it Father? Is it Jesus? Is it Holy Spirit? It's all of them.
It's all.
Yeah, they all.
But I'm connected to the source. And when you're connected to the source, the power moves through you because you hear.
Well, how do you get connected?
His presence, His word, spending time with Him, seeking Him, listening to Him, worshiping and allowing Him to speak. He speaks more than we realize. He's constantly speaking. We're just not listening. And if you just silence yourself sometimes, like you even said, when I'm fearful, when I'm devastated, I go, feel me. What do? You don't feel me and then run. You feel and you wait. And you listen and you lean in. And honestly, the times that I've watched God move over and over in my life has just been, I've got out of the way. At church, we get out of the way. I'm about to preach and I feel Holy Spirit, because worship is going great. And then I feel Holy Spirit say, I don't want that word. I just want you to stand still. And sometimes we don't want to stand still because we think there's nothing, I have to fill in the blanks. And He's like, stand still. Because are you willing to look foolish so I can move? And I've just stood still. And I tell you, the presence of God has moved. Just get out of the way. Just act on that obedience. Sometimes even if nothing happened, He's just wanting to see if you can be obedient. So the power will come because He's wanting to move.
He wants to.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload.
And don't forget to check out our Better Together shop. Thanks for being a part of our community.